We're here at Arethusa Falls. Alright, so after doing a little bit of research, I have a quick disclaimer for this video. It's not Arethusa Falls, it's Arethusa. There is no L in that word whatsoever. But fun fact about me is that whenever I read something, for whatever reason, I will just add letters apparently, and then it becomes a fact, despite the fact that I'm looking right at the sign several times. It says Arethusa, not Arethusa. So, because I didn't know that beforehand, what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna make fun of myself the whole entire video. So you'll see a little counter at the top right-hand side of how many times I screw up this word. So play along and see if you can catch as many times as I did. So we are about to go to Arethusa Falls, and that right there is Frankenstein Cliffs. If you do the whole loop, you can actually get up there, and I'd love to do that someday, but for today, we're just gonna go see the waterfall. So we're on the Arethusa Trail, and it's 1.4 miles to get there, so not too long. I heard depending on what trail you go, you get to choose one of them. The Bemis Trail follows the river. It's a little bit more strenuous. The other one we're gonna go on because it's winter. We're gonna do that one. But good thing we got micro spikes. There's some ice right now, but so far it's pretty doable. We'll see if we get all the way there and make sure it's not too icy and too steep and dangerous. But if we can, we'll show you the falls. All right, so I'm glad I did my homework. That's the Bemis Trail. That's the trail we're taking to Arethusa Falls. Good thing we got micro spikes because this is all just packed down ice right now. Maddie, what'd you find?
I found birch bark.
Cool.
Dogs like this one. And then it makes some bark, bark, bark.
Oh my goodness. So, because it's winter and there are no leaves, you can see some of the mountains that we're all surrounded in right now. It's a good view. All of this is behind you as you go to the falls. We have now met back up with the trail. That is the Bemis Trail. We came from that trail, the Arethusa Trail. They meet up together. We keep going forward. Check out the water going underneath the ice. Good job, Rai. Keep going. Doing a good job. We've now gotten up a little bit higher. You'll notice off to the left, quite a significant drop off. It's gradual, but it's definitely a drop off. I wasn't kidding when I said there's a drop off. It definitely gets steeper as you go. But we have a nice trail here. So we're here in March, and just like Diana's baths, which was the last video, these trails are all ice, packed down ice. So we got micro spikes. We're good to go. All right. So far what it seems like is after the trails converge together, it gets fairly steep. It's an elevated area, but after doing that for a little bit, it seems to be leveling out a little bit more. It's pretty easy going overall so far. This is a pretty doable trail. Definitely something that the girls are handling like a champ right here in the winter. So if we could do it, we could too. So I've heard this is actually quite a popular trail, but we've been on this and we've been on it for a little bit now, and actually we've only seen one group of people, two if you count the ones that are chasing us, but so two groups of people. Do you guys hear the water? Is it the stream or is it the falls? It's water no matter what. We'll find out, I guess. So I don't know how well it's going to show up. Right there is the stream. So that's the water we heard. It's running really good on just the stream. I don't know if that connects to the waterfall. I'm assuming it does. But we should, after hearing the stream, see a pretty good waterfall.
Okay. Follow my thing. Not a great to eat, honey.
It's okay. Snow just gave up from me. You guys are doing great. So just like any trail in the White Mountains, the trail itself really becomes the easiest way for water to trickle down. So you'll be crossing some water as the snow melts. We have definitely hit a higher elevation at this point because you can feel the air shift and be completely colder as you go up. So it looks like after the second bridge you cross, it gets a little steep again. Still, as you turn around, got this view. We'll get that the whole way down. Or whole way back actually, as we go down. So when you get to this sign, Arethusa Falls is that way. The rest of the trail goes on that way to Frankenstein Cliffs. We're not going that way today. We're gonna go to Arethusa Falls. Just know on the way down, it is pretty steep. As you can see, it's really steep right here, so we're gonna be careful, but I think I hear the waterfall. So I'm gonna put the GoPro away so we can use all hands and feet on deck, get these kids down and see an awesome waterfall. Right? Whoa, slipping a little bit. Like I said, this is a very steep section, which is really only steep because of the ice buildup right now. But we are almost to the falls. Here it is. Wow. Wow, that's amazing. This waterfall is amazing. I'm gonna try to traverse this a little bit, see how thick this ice is on the way, see how dangerous it gets, but kids will stay back. We're gonna go forward, get some footage for you. Alright, so gonna have to be careful here because as I go around all this snow and everything, I'm not sure what below me is the stream and what's rocks. It looks like it's pretty thick, so it looks like it should be pretty good. So far it's good. So fun fact about this waterfall, this is actually the tallest waterfall in New Hampshire. Alright, this is where snow is getting a little bit more slushy. It feels less like ice. But look at this huge chunk of ice right here. Look at that. Just to get some perspective. Look at this thing. It's absolutely huge. And this waterfall is absolutely huge. That's my family back there. I gotta clean off this lens. I got some mist on it. Look at that. It's hard to believe that in the summer this thing could turn into just a little trickle. But man, this is so cool. Look at all this ice on here. I'm gonna look up how tall this waterfall is, and I will put the height of it somewhere like right there, so you know how big this really is. I am standing pretty much right over where the water roars down into the stream below. This ice is so unbelievably thick. This is absolutely beautiful. I am getting pelted with mist right now. This thing is coming down so hard. It's a little bit on the lens, so we'll see how much of this footage shows up, but it was awesome. I don't know what just cracked, but something up there just cracked. So I'm not gonna stand around here any longer. Yeah, that's a little scary. Something big just cracked up there. I don't know what it is, but I'm not sticking around to find out. Waterfall truly is awesome. This is really cool. So just to get an idea of how big this waterfall is, Sarah's right there getting a picture, and this thing just is massive.
So big!
So 1.4 miles to get here, 1.4 to get back. It's pretty doable. It's hard to get here in the ice and snow, but with the micro spikes, it was fine. It's just a little steep, but there's a reason why they call it moderate. This trail is definitely doable. Our girls did it, we did it, and the payoff is incredible. This waterfall is quite amazing. I love waterfalls, and this is a really nice one. All right, that's it for our ankle twister. Okay, that's it for our time here at Arethusa Falls. Signing off. Maddie's practically running down the hill. Arethusa Falls. To Arethusa Falls. The Arethusa Trail. To Arethusa Falls. The Arethusa Trail? Arethusa Falls is that way. We go to Arethusa Falls. Arethusa Falls.